Welcome to Carlos's Scary Time, where I scare people. I will walk from door to door and scare people by asking them the question from this very scary film. Tamara home?
Yeah, hi, I'm Tamara. How are you doing? I just wanted to watch a review, like, of The Strangers or something. You wanna come join me?
Okay, why not?
Why, hello there and welcome to the Movie Void, where we review whatever the fuck we feel like reviewing. And today we are doing none other than both the Strangers movies. Well, back in 2007, the home invasion subgenre finally started getting some attention. In Europe, movies like Funny Games or Inside were really making it big. So, it was time for an American attempt at this. Brian Bertino thought the exact same thing and decided to write The Strangers. And as soon as Liv Tyler read this, she was hooked.
Gosh, I just read the script. I just remember picking it up and I just started reading it, and I didn't really know I didn't know what kind of a film it was at all when I was reading the script. And it wasn't a horror script really at first. It was just this really intricate story about this couple and they were having a bad night, and I was like, where is this going? And I was just really riveted, and I just had like a complete kind of gut reaction that I really wanted to, or had to be in the movie.
Let's have a look at The Strangers 1.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word.
Is Tamara here?
The film opens up with a black background and scary orange writing, telling us how this movie is inspired by true events.
What you are about to see is inspired by true events.
Inspired by true events. What does that even mean? Well, I looked it up a little, and according to the director, the movie was inspired by true events in the following way. In his childhood, a stranger one night knocked on his door and asked,
Is Tamara here?
A day later, he then found out that somebody had invaded the homes of his neighbors who weren't home that night. Inspired by true events, you know.
I call bullshit on that. Bullshit artist!
Dude, you're making a movie about people who check if somebody's home and then terrorize them because they are home. In your story, these people, these burglars, were actually checking if other people were not home so they can rob them. You are misleading your audience. Well, we start off with the happiest Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormon kids, I don't know what the fuck they are, knocking from house to house to, you know, inspire people to join their religion. Why do these kids look like the saddest creatures in the world? They didn't even find these bodies yet or anything. Why do they look this upset? Oh well, then we get to what actually happened. We are then introduced to Kristen and James, played by Liv Tyler and Scott Speedson. They drive around in a car and then they come home and they are acting quite miserable.
When did you do all this?
Today? With Mike?
Isn't it enthralling when you're supposed to sympathize with the victims in this movie and the first thing they are doing is acting like they are the most depressed people on the planet? What is this? So the audience is pretty much standing there wondering why the fuck these people are acting like the saddest people in the universe. I mean, are they also part of that depressing Jehovah's Witness club or something? Well, it is soon implied that dear old James here asked Kristen if she wants to be his wife, and well, the outcome wasn't really what he expected it. Liv Tyler then goes to the bathroom, checks out the most disgusting water, and for some strange reason still takes a bath in it.
Yes, I always take a bath in dirty water. The more dirtier the water is, the more comfortable I feel with my body inside of it.
While Liv Tyler is bathing in her stinky water, James decides to call his friend to pick him up because things didn't really go as he planned them to go.
I need you to come out here and get me. Just whenever you wake up in the morning, I'm gonna give you the car. Just call me when you get this.
So now they're sitting there having these totally depressing conversations.
Your clothes are in the bedroom if you want.
I want to wear this. And I'll only get to wear it tonight. It makes me feel pretty.
Cool, ain't it? They just gaze in silence and speak so silently that you hardly understand anything they say.
I'm so sorry it wasn't the way you thought it would be. Really sorry.
What do we do now?
What?
Jesus Christ, I can't take their misery. It's awful.
No.
Well, they engage in some more miserable conversation until I think they can't handle their own misery themselves any longer, and they start sexy time. When suddenly,
Rapping at my chamber door.
and again,
Rapping at my chamber door.
they answer the door, and a young woman asks the magic question.
Is Tamara here?
No. No, you got the wrong house.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, you know how it is in life, in general, when somebody asks you if Tamara is home. All feelings of sexuality and horniness die on the spot. So, Liv Tyler and James, they engage back into miserable conversation. When Liv Tyler notices that she is out of smokes.
I'm out of cigarettes.
I'll go get you some more.
He lights her a fire and leaves. Kirsten then just walks around eerily in her house, trying on her wedding ring, thinking,
Oh my, I would have been a beautiful bride or something like that.
when suddenly,
Rapping at my chamber door. Rapping at my chamber
Hello?
door.
and the magic question is asked again.
Is Tamara home?
You already came by here.
The movie goes on like a commercial for a company that renovates people's houses. Are you sick of your rusty pipes, your clogging chimneys, your smoke alarms going off for no reason? Well, don't worry. We here at Strangers Home Repairs got you covered. And after Liv Tyler attempts to fix the problem herself, it happens again!
Rapping at my chamber door.
Liv Tyler starts freaking out. She decides to grab her phone, but of course it is out of battery. She charges it.
Rapping at my chamber door.
And then she decides to call James from her landline.
James, where are you? That girl came back. That girl, I mean, she keeps knocking on the door.
She wanders around the house, and then in the background we see something that actually, gotta give this movie credit where credit is due, is quite terrifying. But then she returns to her phone and poof, it is gone. And she makes a very upset face about it. And then you know what happens? And then you know what happens? And then you know what happens?
Rapping at my chamber door.
Exactly! Well then, Liv Tyler then keeps running around with a knife, being totally freaked out, tries to look outside, and then all of a sudden we see this! Wait a sec, wasn't that dude inside the house earlier? Why is he outside of the house now? I thought this dude was like planning to attack her or rob her or something, but no, it seems he just wants to freak her out, so he keeps leaving the house and exiting the house for suspenseful purposes. Liv Tyler runs, she loses it, she breaks a lamp for absolutely no reason whatsoever. No, seriously, what is the point of that? And then suddenly James is back. Well, she tells her about her phone disappearing. They don't know yet that it's in the fireplace. I don't think they ever will, to begin with. And then they start gazing outside. And looky here! It's our masked man again. Just standing there hanging around. They shortly look away to talk to each other. And they look back and, what do you know? The man in the mask is gone. I'm slowly thinking that the strangers are actually only there to troll these guys. They don't really mean anything, but just like, you know, it's like a prank video. That's what this is. I mean, look at how out of their way they must go to perform these magic disappearing tricks. I mean, there's only one way this could actually function. Yo, dude, they're looking away. You gotta hide somewhere. You gotta hide somewhere quickly. Run! So James and Kirsten, they're not stupid. They notice they have to get out of there because this shit's getting too real for them. So they jump into the car and want to drive off, but don't. And I don't understand for what reason they don't. It just doesn't make sense. But stupid decisions is something that these movies live off. In fact, let's make a stupid decision counter. After realizing that the whole entire thing with the car didn't really go as planned, they think of something else. Getting a gun. And we are confronted with this wonderful piece of dialogue.
I'm not sure I even know how to load it.
But you said you used to hunt with your dad.
No, I never did. It was something I said.
Why would you even lie about that? But okay, this is now maybe somewhat of a smart decision. They're going to hover in the background, wait for one of the strangers to pass, and blow their brains out. But then suddenly Mike comes around and puts a damper on that plan.
Hello?
And yep, there goes Mike. Bye-bye. Well, James, being the brave motherfucker that he is, he decides to leave the house and try to call for help. He is unsuccessful. So Liv Tyler goes off and does the exact same thing. She gets injured and then starts performing some yoga positions. Look at me! I am Liv Tyler performing the graceful swan. Ha ha! Well, she tries to call the radio.
Can you hear me?
Loudly. So she decides to go back into the house. And then they run around a little again. And then Liv Tyler is knocked out too. And then you pretty much have this execution moment. Will we get some more catchphrases like,
You don't have to do.
and the classical question,
Why are you doing this to us?
and this time, we actually get an answer.
Because you were home.
Yep, makes sense, they were home. Why not do that? And then the strangers proceed to stab them. We see the strangers driving away, saying this line.
It'll be easier next time.
How, in what way was this difficult? I mean, you guys were just like pranking them the whole time. You weren't really, you weren't really hurting them until you decided to. Before that, you were just freaking them out. How, in what way, in what world was this difficult? Well, the happiest children I've ever seen in my life walk down the road and discover the body and end up finding Liv Tyler, who screams. She's still alive, so she probably made it. And that is where the movie ends. It was pretty successful, people liked it, people were generally scared of it. I, to this very day, don't understand why. A few moments are genuinely scary, but the ones that are funny pretty much weigh them out, I think. But, I don't know. So, with The Strangers 1 being pretty successful, bringing back $80 million at its $9 million budget, you would have thought that a sequel was already in the works. And it was! But however, Relativity Media, the company behind the original Strangers, went bankrupt. And so the sequel was in production limbo, let's say. That was until 10 years later, in 2018, where the Strangers were resurrected and the whole entire project was given to Johannes Roberts, the guy behind 47 Meters Down. Throw in some fresh stars like Bailey Madison or Mark Henderson. This seemed to be something that could go right. Oh well, let's see how this movie went.
Is Tamara home?
Oh, Tamara's not home. She broke up with me, man. Like, she's not gonna be here no more.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, like, sure. Like, come in, Carlos.
So yeah, we're getting all 80s here. Stranger Things are pretty in at the moment, so's the new It movie. We're also listening to some 80s tunes. God damn it, it's Kids in America. The opening theme to Clueless, for example.
Sit here alone and I wonder why. Friday night.
We're bound to see this huge ass party. Come on, cut to a party. Oh. That's not a promising opening. So we get an opening generic kill where one of the strangers sneaks into these old folks' trailer and cuddles up in bed with the old dude. It could be a kill. It could be some booty. So the opening title appears, and we meet our main character, Kinsey, and her family. Kinsey has screwed up some shit, and she is being sent to boarding school. What exactly she did, we will never know. Kinsey's a rebellious teenager. How do we know that she's rebellious? Well, duh! She's got a Ramones shirt on, and some ripped jeans. Uh-huh. Now that's a badass girl, y'all. So her family is driving her to boarding school. We meet her parents and her brother, and they have these wonderful, warm, touching conversations.
You think I wanted this?
I think you like the attention.
You're a dick.
You're a queef.
Whoa!
Wait, what's queef? Seriously, what's queef?
Seriously, dude, you don't know what a queef is?
Just like most women out there, I've really gotten into queefing lately. There's a lot of fun and interesting ways we can decorate our queefs and just make them more dynamic for the holidays. What we're gonna do is just cut out some paper, like this, and cut out little stars or little moon shapes. I'm gonna just jam those up. And then I've got some simple little sparkles from the hobby store. See how pretty that was?
So our beautiful family arrives at this cheap Walmart version of Camp Crystal Lake. Want to check in, but see that the owner of the place has just left a note. I think it's implied that one of those strangers wrote the note, since there is an evil smiley face on the note. Evil smiley faces. They walk into their room and notice right away that something's off.
This is nice, right?
First of all, there's food in the fridge and some things are missing.
There's someone else staying here?
It's weird.
Should I toss it?
What, are you gonna eat it? Throw it out.
It smells fine. It's beef and broccoli.
Please do not eat that.
I love it.
There are no glasses.
But most importantly, the whole scene is shot entirely out of focus! I know this is like, can be used as a cool stylistic manner to shoot some scenes out of focus. Like when things are totally suspenseful, or when somebody has been knocked out and is not really able to see things. But for what reason would you shoot a scene where these people just walk into their room out of focus? Oh my god! There's a tapping at the door!
Well, that's exactly what I was referring to.
Rapping at my chamber door.
They open the door, only to be asked the magic question again. The $5 million question.
Is Tamara home?
Yes, and Tamara is once again not home.
I am in Amsterdam right now.
I really wonder how this movie would have progressed if one of the family members' name actually was Tamara. Like all horror movies do, the strangers, pray at night, also has to figure out a way of how to get rid of all the mobile phones. And the father is like, you kids and your mobile phones, constantly on your mobile phones. Let's have some family time together.
Oh, come on. Can we just have one last evening where you're not on your phones?
Yeah, he doesn't really sound like a black jazz pianist. And Kinsey's not having it. She's not having that. She's not liking this phone-less situation whatsoever. And she decides to leave the house.
Hey, baby doll.
Where are you going? I need some air.
Her brother is told to follow her.
You go talk to her.
What? Why?
Because you're her brother.
And they have some heart-to-heart talk.
What are you doing?
I don't know, Mom told me to come hang with you.
Such a bitch.
Just being dramatic.
Yeah, you think?
I meant you.
Fuck off.
While that's going on,
Rapping at my chamber door.
the parents are asked the magic question again.
Is Tamara home?
Tamara is just never home.
We just got to London.
So the kids keep walking, and they stumble upon an open trailer. And out of curiosity, they pop in, find themselves a bottle of Jackie, and want to let loose. All of a sudden, there's a tapping.
Rapping at my chamber door.
What was that?
Any normal person in this situation would probably get scared that somebody's in the house because they are literally trespassing here. But no, our kids don't do that. Where's my stupid decisions counter? There. And yet there's another tapping at the door.
Rapping at my chamber door.
Why are they still here? So they open the door, and it's just a dog.
Hi, doggy.
But soon the kids notice that the windows are smeared with weird painting. And they turn around and see this corpse. And now we know what happened to the old folks from the beginning of the film. So the kids get scared and they run, and then they find their parents and then tell them what's going on.
What the hell is going on? Uncle Marvin, Aunt Cheryl are all cut up and there's blood everywhere.
The father and the son decide to check out the situation.
Do you know how to get back there? Yeah. Can you show me?
Yeah, I think so.
The smart thing to do here would have been to get the phones, call the cops, and get out of there as soon as possible. But no. This family's much smarter than that. So Kinsey and her mama go back to the trailer and see that all the phones are broken. And before you know it, one of the strangers is in the house. They run to the bathroom. And Kinsey makes a run for it through the... What do you call those things up there? The window on the roof of the trailer. While her mama is, instead of joining her, starting to talk to her. Yeah, why not just give the strangers time to get to you and kill you? I mean, she could have gotten away, for fuck's sake. Father and son have reached the crime scene. They realize that the phone lines are cut.
Oh.
They decide to go back to find Kinsey and her mama, only to find out that mama is dead. And Kinsey's fuck knows where. So we catch up with Kinseykins, who's been running around, running away from the strangers. There's one following her with a car. She hides inside this pipe. What weird things are in this movie? And is actually hiding so the strangers don't find her. This is why she also decides to talk to them.
Leave us alone!
Yeah, you tell them, girl! I bet you if you tell them to leave you alone, they will definitely do so. This movie feels like it's a fucking slapstick comedy. The strangers, they don't want to leave you alone, Kinsey. Huh? Doesn't that surprise you?
But we've just started.
Are those two voices at the same time? Seriously, movie? Has Dollface gotten the ability to talk as two people at the same time now? Well, anyway, Kinsey's brother and her dad, they're driving around in a car trying to find her until an unknown object from the sky hits the car. Aww. People in horror movies somehow don't know how to drive. So Papa Mike and Luke, yeah, that's his name, Luke, wake up from their car crash slumber and realize that Papa Mike ain't really in the position to go anywhere. So So he sends Junior off, run, run, find Kinsey, and is then visited by one of the strangers. And he just sits down beside Papa Mike, and they listen to a good old round of Kim Wilde.
Please. Hey, whatever it is you're doing, just stop.
Before he finally kills him. Kinsey is running around Trailer Park Town trying to find any help whatsoever, I think. I think that's what she's doing, but I don't think she'll find that in any random trailers. Does this go into the stupid decision counter? Hell, why not? Then suddenly she is attacked by Dollface herself. It's just about when you think Kinsey's gonna get offed. In comes her brother with a gun. And I don't understand, why isn't he shooting her? Why? I mean, both of their parents were just killed by them. Wouldn't it, like any regular, rational thinking person, just walk in there, guns blazing? I mean, she even asks him.
Are you gonna shoot me?
And Kinsey's also saying,
Give me the gun. Give me the gun, Luke. Give me the gun. I will shoot her. I will fight.
why doesn't he do that? Why is he hesitating? Why? I can't take this. I'm getting a bottle of wine. That's better. So Kinsey and Luke find a nice little trailer to hide in. They have their moment. And suddenly a car comes driving through the walls. And they run, but they leave the gun behind. They keep running. Kinsey's too wounded to keep going, so they hide her under a house?
I'm gonna try to find me in the office. Okay? You have to stay here. Trust me, you have to stay right here. Do not move. I'm gonna call 911. Ambulance will come. The police will light this whole fucking place.
I'm coming with you.
No, stop.
And Luke proceeds into the shop of the trailer park home, and he finds a phone that actually works and calls the police, when he's suddenly confronted by a stranger. I mean, he has a fucking golf club. And this bitch, what does she have? Like, I don't know, a knife? Why doesn't he hit her? Well, he just runs. He just runs. And he's suddenly at a pool. And the lights go on. And Totally Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler starts playing. I'm not even kidding. This is beautiful. All of a sudden, that stranger from earlier comes running from the back. He does make it to swing her. And then ends up stabbing her. Geez, somebody grew some balls. And then he just stands there for another round while another stranger comes along making that face. And the squad has an axe, so I'd run if I was him. But no. Luke, he's much smarter than that. You know what he does? He starts talking to him.
I killed one of yours. How's that feel, huh?
And then we get some splish splash. I was taking a bath fun while they fight in the pool to this beautiful scenery with Bonnie Tyler's Totally Eclipse of the Heart playing. This is beautiful. This is just like so hilarious, so visually pleasing. Luke gets stabbed and is left bleeding in the pool and is suddenly rescued by Kinsey, who takes care of him and hides him somewhere safe while she goes to get help. Oh, this can only turn out good. Okay, buckle up everybody, because now comes one of my favorite so bad it's good movie scenes in all-time history. Kinsey takes it to the street by landing face first on it. Then she is greeted by a sheriff.
Okay, calm down. Hey, calm down. Okay, it's okay.
Okay, I need to help my brother.
Okay.
She tells him what's going on. One of the strangers sneaks up behind the sheriff and cuts his throat open. Kinsey, you could have warned him. You could have literally fucking warned him. Kinsey runs into the car while Dollface takes the keys and pretty much goes nah, 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 nah. They fight inside the car. Kinsey grabs a shotgun and... Yep. She's got much more balls than her brother ever did. And then we have that magic callback question from The Strangers 1.
Why are you doing this?
And here comes the best answer.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? She's like Zoidberg. Like, why not?
Why not Zoidberg?
Why do you kill people? Why not? I ain't got anything else to do. So, Kinsey comes back to the car and the only surviving stranger, mind you, starts driving into her. Constantly. Whilst listening to Making Love Out of Nothing at All by Air Supply. Damn, the music in this movie is beautiful. This is an amazing soundtrack. They're like playing all the songs I listen to when I'm having girl trouble. Kinsey notices some damage, some leak. And there's a lot of gasoline on the floor. She takes out a Zippo out of her pocket, makes one of the most stupid faces I've seen this decade, throws the Zippo and sets everything on fire. But the dude is still alive! So now we have Kinsey running towards a bridge being chased by a burning car while Making Love Out of Nothing at All by Air Supply is playing. Isn't this one of the most ridiculous things you've ever seen? I mean, what the fuck is wrong with these people? This is crazy. This is beautiful. Look at this. Wow. Just wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Right? Great. Amazing. Let's get a shoe shine. Wow. Flippers and all. Wow. 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 This is a nice boat. Wow.
This is like art. This is like some new hippie nihilistic pop art. Damn, dog. So, Kinsey can't walk anymore and stops. And the stranger gets out of the car. We notice that he is hurt and he can't really walk anymore and he just falls down. I mean, if he's so injured and he really wanted to kill Kinsey in the first place, why the fuck did he get out of the car at all? Stupid decision meter? Yes. I mean, he could have just ran her over. Why? Well, a family drives by. Kinsey asks for some help, but somebody has new energy now. And starts chasing Kinsey, who jumps into the back of the car. I think they're definitely trying to quote Texas Chainsaw here. Later we see her and her brother Luke, who seems to have survived his injuries, and they're just hanging at the hospital. And then there's a tapping at the door.
Hello?
Rapping at my chamber door.
And that, my friends, is where The Strangers 2 ends. Oh boy. While The Strangers 1 still manages to somehow, through its closed atmosphere and its home invasion setting, even though it has a lot of flaws, The Strangers 1 still has its genuinely terrifying moments. Sure, of course there are a bunch of bad decisions, and of course we have stupid characters and who are totally unlikable, but still, The Strangers 1 does succeed in providing some actual genuine scares. There are a lot of so bad it's good moments, but still it is generally a horror film. The Strangers Pray at Night, however, is just your flat-out stupid comedy gold so bad it's good movie. No, really, this is like the Room of horror movies. And I really recommend this to everyone. Give it a watch because it is so entertaining in just how fucking stupid it is. It is beautiful. It is like a firework of stupidity just thrown at you, and it is just so much fun. If you're looking for something generally scary, nah. Nah. Oh boy. But still, it is beautifully shot though. Like you have some that pool scene, marvelous. That scene on the bridge, beautiful. But it is hilarious. I think we are still going to get another Strangers 3 with probably a new trio or a prequel, and who knows, maybe Ghostface survived. Or Bagface, is that his name? I don't know. Well, cheers guys. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go see how Carlos's night of scaring people went. Let's find out. So, Carlos, how did it go? Did you meet anybody named Tamara?
Yes, I did! It was awful!
Oh no, Carlos, I'm so sorry to hear that. Come on, big guy. I bet you it'll be better next time.
No, I am never doing this again!
Let's do something to cheer you up. Do you want to go to the movies?
No!
Do you want to go to the show?
No!
Do you want to get some rotten meat from the butchers and throw it at people from the balcony?
Okay!
Okay, Carlos, let's do that. So, everyone, this was the Movie Void. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. You will see me when you see me. And the next episodes are going to be a crazy series of vlogs. We start in London, go to Vegas, and then to Los Angeles. So, you got some really tight-ass shit happening. Is Tamara home?
Why not?